Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. This is the day after we've had a night to sleep on it, put some thoughts together, hopefully be a little less emotional talking about this Tennessee-South Carolina game compared to what we were last night during the live post-game show. But look, that's the beauty of this channel. You guys have come to enjoy it. We get together live immediately after the games. We've had some great times. We've celebrated some big-time wins. We've been through the worst of the worst. That's what I said last night. Do you think I can't handle a loss to South Carolina? I've been here for losses to Georgia State. I've been here for losses to BYU and Vanderbilt. I've been here for the worst of the worst. So I can take a loss to South Carolina and credit. You got to give credit to Spencer Rattler, that South Carolina football team. They came out and they put it on Tennessee. You know, some of these Georgia fans that like to lurk around the chat think that Georgia put a beat down on Tennessee. No, South Carolina did put a beat down on Tennessee. Congratulations to them. Big time win for their program. We're going to put some thoughts together about it. We're going to talk about it. But as always, do me a favor. Go ahead and smash that like button just below the video. It's quick, it's free, it's easy. It helps the channel. Just hit that little thumbs up. Also, if you're new to the Talkin VAWLS Network, welcome. We're not experts. We're not insiders. This channel is for the fans, by the fans. If you like what we do, make sure you subscribe. Click that bell for notifications. You won't miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. I'll be live tonight, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time, playing a little NCAA football, but also drowning our sorrows and talking about this game against South Carolina. We'll look ahead to Vanderbilt. We'll talk about all that was lost today. Join me tonight, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. All right, let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Again, South Carolina dominates Tennessee 63-38. What went wrong? I mean, this defense just did not show up. Spencer Rattler, that South Carolina offense did whatever they wanted to do. South Carolina had over 600 yards of total offense. We got to Spencer Rattler. When you guys go back to the preseason, this isn't me bragging or acting like I'm some expert. My concern was if South Carolina got quarterback play, they were going to be a whole lot better football team. And that's what we saw Saturday. Spencer Rattler, 30 of 37 for 438 yards and 6 touchdowns. I mean, that's ridiculous. The defense had no answer. Absolutely no answer. I know some of you are ready to fire Tim Banks. Some of you are ready to fire Willie Martinez. Criticism is due, obviously. You know, I made comments about Jimmys and Joes versus X's and O's. I saw somebody on Twitter or the comment section of YouTube somewhere say, oh, so you think it's okay to allow 63 points because of Jimmys and Joes? No, that's not what I said. That's not what I said in any way, shape, or form. The coaching staff has to take responsibility for this. Josh Heupel took responsibility for it. Thought it was very interesting that last night in the post-game press conference, he specifically mentioned Tim Banks by name, that Tim Banks was trying to figure out a way to stop that offense and could not do it. It's very interesting to me. Very interesting to me that he mentioned Tim Banks by name. That's not something that we've seen Josh Heupel do. But look, the deal is the college football playoff is off the table. It's over. This is almost one of those preseason type scenarios that people throw out there at you. All right, we're predicting 8-4. That's where we think this football team's at. So you guys may throw a question out there and say, what would you do if? Would you take 10-2? If it meets you beat Alabama and you beat Florida and you beat LSU, but then your only losses were to Georgia and South Carolina. I mean, it's just one of those things where it's one of those scenarios of you still have to be happy with where this football team is at, looking to go 10-2 with a win over Vanderbilt next week. But that doesn't mean that you're validating this loss. That doesn't mean you're accepting this loss to South Carolina. It's okay to be mad. It's okay to be pissed off and upset and frustrated. But you take 10-2 all day long. Nobody would have argued with 10-2 at the beginning of the season. But the reality of the situation is it does leave a bad taste in your mouth. You're always going to look back at this season and say, well, yep, Josh Heupel went 10-2, but they should have gone 11-1 and had a shot at the college football playoff. We didn't earn it. We didn't deserve it. If you can't beat South Carolina, you don't deserve a shot at the college football playoff. That's just the reality. That's a reality check that maybe we all needed this morning, myself included. If you can't get by South Carolina, you don't deserve it. It is what it is. Let's talk about Hendon Hooker and Jeremy Banks. That's the hot topic swirling all around the internet today. What happened? What went down? Because, again, this is not me taking credit away from South Carolina and their football team and what they did. Something was off with this football team last night at South Carolina. Something was off. You know, we hear before the game, about an hour and a half, 2 hours before kickoff, VolQuest comes out and says Jeremy Banks not going to play today. They mention an elbow injury. You start looking around the internet, you're seeing that he could have the flu. Then you get on to the broadcast and they say Jeremy Banks is out. It was not injury related. They hope to have him back next week. Josh Heupel after the game says that Jeremy Banks was out. They hope to have him back next week. What does that mean? What does that mean? Then the rumors start circulating, the message board rumors, that there was some type of altercation, some type of fight between Jeremy Banks and Hendon Hooker. And again, this is all speculation, internet message board, rumor mill type stuff. But something was off with that football team. Did Jeremy Banks and Hendon Hooker get into it? The rumor is that's what happened. Joe Milton stepped in, took care of business, and took out Jeremy Banks. Is that truth? I have no idea. I'm just speculating on the rumors that are circulating. So what happened? Was there an altercation? Was it over NIL? And some people can freak out and talk about Josh Heupel and NIL and this, that, and the other. This is what, if it was NIL related, this is the thing that every college football coach across the country is going to have to deal with. There are going to be football players on teams that make a whole lot more money, and they're going to be playing the quarterback position. Did a middle linebacker get upset? What happened? Because something was off with the chemistry of this football team. And again, that's not me taking anything away from South Carolina. That's me speculating on the rumors that are floating around all over the internet. Hendon Hooker finished the day 25 of 42 for 247 yards and 3 touchdowns. Just didn't have it. Just didn't have it. And we laugh. And again, we said this post game, a bad day for Hendon Hooker means he throws for 250 and 3 touchdowns. But it's just, he was off. He was off. He was late on some throws. He just didn't have his A game, and the offense couldn't keep up. And if you had told me that it was going to be a shootout and Tennessee couldn't keep up with South Carolina, I would have laughed in your face. I would have said absolutely no chance that happens. But the defense was just a train wreck. Defense was a disaster, and Jalen Hyatt and this offense didn't do enough to keep up. Defensively, the only guy to me that showed up and played football on Saturday was Aaron Beasley. He had the only sack of the day. He played some good physical football out there, but just no pressure. There was no pressure up front on Spencer Rattler. You allowed him to sit back there and pick you apart. They played a lot of zone. Heupel said they mixed it up with some zone, some man. They played a lot of zone and just let Spencer Rattler sit back there and have a field day and throw for almost 450. Seems to be what Tennessee likes to do, is let these quarterbacks that have been trash all year come in and throw for over 400 yards, set records, 6 touchdowns on the day for Spencer Rattler. So where does this football team go from here? Where do they go from here? Sitting at 9-2 with a game left against Vanderbilt. If you don't think Vanderbilt's going to be fired up, I don't know what to tell you. They're going to be fired up. They're going to be ready to go. They're playing for bowl eligibility. This is a big-time football game for Vanderbilt. Now, how does Tennessee respond? Is there an issue in the locker room? Is there? Because this is something that we have preached about Josh Heupel from day one. It's culture, atmosphere, family. Is there something going on in that locker room? If there is, can Josh Heupel get it cleared up before we go play Vanderbilt next Saturday? And more importantly, can he get it cleared up before we go into a bowl game? Tennessee still has a lot to play for. And it's hard to shift your focus when it's been all about the college football playoff, all about a rematch with Georgia, all about trying to go win a national championship in year 2. All that stuff's great. Now it's off the table. You got to shift focus. And can Josh Heupel get this football team dialed in and focused to go play little brother next Saturday, to go play a bowl game that's not the college football playoff, that's not the national championship? Josh Heupel's got his hands full. If the rumors of things going on in the locker room are true, he's got his hands full. So again, South Carolina boat races Tennessee 63-38. Congratulations to the Gamecocks. Tennessee's got to get ready to go play Vanderbilt next week. Get ready for a bowl game coming up. Hit the comment section. A lot to unpack there. A lot to unpack. What's going on in the locker room? Can Josh Heupel clean up what's going on in the locker room? Do you think that impacted the game? Do you think that had any sort of impact on the game? Or do you just think that South Carolina is a better football team? Do you think Tim Banks needs to be fired? What about Willie Martinez? Hit the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. As always, make sure you guys smash the thumbs up on the way out the door. Go check out the official merchandise of the Talkin VAWLS Network. Go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. Any and all support greatly appreciated. Thank you to everybody that showed up for the post-game show, particularly the members of the channel. We appreciate you guys keeping the lights on around here. You can become a member of the channel. You get access to custom Talkin VAWLS emojis, fan call-in shows, all kinds of fun stuff. Just hit that join button down below for as little as 99 cents a month. You can support what we are trying to build on this channel. We appreciate it. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't let this spoil the season. Don't let it spoil the season. Be happy that this football team is still staring 10 wins in the face, 10 regular season wins for the first time since 2001. Yeah, this one stings. Yeah, it burns. But don't let this take away what Tennessee and this football team have done through this season. But that's going to do it. This is the Talkin' VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.